The discovery of the neutron is credited to Sir James Chadwick in 1932. This is years after Rutherford's experiment suggested what we now know as a nuclear model of the atom. So Rutherford's credited with the discovery of the nucleus from his alpha scattering experiment. So this was around 1911 when Rutherford uh, did his alpha scattering experiment to suggest a nuclear model. Now, there's a discrepancy between the number of protons, okay, based on the charge of the nucleus, and the mass of the nucleus. So around 1920, Rutherford suggested that there might be something else in the nucleus that's responsible for that charge. It was like 12 years later after that uh, Chadwick was able to um, provide experimental evidence and successfully explained that by proposing that neutrons do exist. Okay, so what basically his experiment involved bombarding a beam of beryllium atoms with alpha particles. This resulted in radiation being produced from the beryllium atoms. So if you have a beryllium here, you bombard it with alpha particles, neutrons came off from those. And he deduced from these experiments that this beam of atoms, particles that came off your beryllium were in fact neutrons. Okay, so what happened here is you have an alpha particle, it collides with a beryllium atom, and that changes your beryllium atom to a carbon-12 atom, and that produces a neutron. Now, neutrons were difficult to detect because they don't respond to magnets or electrically charged plates. They are electrically neutral. That's the reason why it took longer for it to be discovered. Now, if you want to look at, there are several websites where you have more on this information. I'm not going to go into detail. I suggest you do a search for discovery of neutron. And one of the nice websites you might find, this is this physics lab, famous experiments and discovery of the neutron. And here's a schematic of that experiment. You have alpha particles coming from a polonium source. Here's your beryllium right here. Electrons come out. It hits a piece of paraffin, and it causes protons to get ejected, which are detected by a Geiger counter, which is okay. And so this is the reaction that produces the neutrons. Your alpha particles plus beryllium atoms. Okay, beryllium 9 gives you carbon 12 and a neutron.